Welcome to Joa Fitness Health Wellness Video Podcast, a space to ignite your day through positive conversations. We bring people that have created excellence in their life, sharing high vibration in their reawakening path.
In the spine, and they're going down the arm all the way to the hand. So some people who have symptoms in their hand think it's coming from the hand. It could actually be coming from the neck. Same thing for forearm, elbow, and if they keep treating that area, stretching it, doing different things, it's not improving, then it actually might be coming from here, and this is the area that needs to be treated. Yeah. And so, as you said, the different signs and symptoms would be heaviness, feeling like it's like very, very tight in there. The color actually might change. Okay, so it can be like a duller color in the hand or the area that's affected. Numbness, tingling, pins and needles, lack of sensation, weakness. The nerves are the ones that innervate the muscles, and so if the nerve can't bring that signal to the muscle to activate, then over time that muscle can become weaker and weaker. And I actually have some patients, if they're lifting a coffee cup, it will actually fall out of their hand. Yeah. Like that's too much weight for them.
So I think the most important on this podcast is to educate people about the solutions and how to identify when you actually have a real injury. So I believe like the only way for me to know that I actually had a nerve impingement was to run an MRI. So I actually have to book an MRI and do a cervical MRI, and that's what they say that, oh yes, you have a nerve impingement on your C5. So that helped me a lot to find a solution exactly what was happening, because it's just easy to self-diagnose, and then you just think, oh no, it's something related to my fingers or something related to my wrist, while the problem is actually coming from the root of the problem, which are usually the neck. So that's what I would recommend, to get an MRI, and the MRI normally will be very accurate about where exactly is the nerve issue happening. And for the treatments that you do, what do you usually do when you get a client that is already coming with a real serious injury on the neck?
So it depends on if it's muscular, if it's bone, or if it's nerve, because the treatment would differ between those. So if someone has literally has had a massive accident, they have like a bone injury, then of course that would be out of the kind of like the scope of practice for a physiotherapist. If it's very traumatic and they would be taken care of, like in the hospital by a physician, that sort of thing. If the physician has then told them, okay, go see a physio and you need to strengthen your muscles, or it might be nerve related, then we're doing a lot of range of motion exercises for that area, because it can get very, very stiff and can restrict motion.
Yes.
Okay, and the other thing is strengthening. A lot of people think we don't need to strengthen this area. This area is very important for strengthening. We're strengthening our biceps, abdominals, but what about this area? Because as you said, we're holding up, 10 to 12 pounds every single day. So we need to have a lot of endurance in these muscles. Mm-hmm. So, and then a manual therapy, massage, stretching is so important.
Yeah.
This area, and it's quite related to kind of like the shoulder, mid-back area.
Mm-hmm.
As well.
So as a personal trainer, I think one of the best ways to create a solution for the neck pain, which sometimes is it's going to reoccur many times, so we just have to manage the pain and know what really affects you, right? So like the position of the scapula, and being very aware of where your neck is positioned when you are exercising. A lot of people are doing deadlift, and basic movement and primary movement like deadlift, which is a hip hinge. It's a hip hinge, but the spine, it starts on the neck. It starts on the sacrum, but it goes all the way to the neck. So when they do the deadlift, many times I see this happening where the chin is off. It's actually up, looking up and up, right? And it's totally off and throwing off the core. So the person is eventually going to create some imbalances. So I will always suggest, when you are doing a deadlift, which is a hip hinge, always try to tighten the core and bring your chin into your chest, so your body is aligned when you are reaching the lowest phase of the movement, and when you're up, your head should be always aligned. You don't have to be looking at yourself in the mirror. It's probably the ego that is always guiding us. Oh, let me see myself in the mirror, but this is actually not looking at yourself. This is about alignment. So on the deadlift, I think that's what I see the most issues. Same like when you're doing chin-ups. A chin-up means that you're going over the bar and you're cleaning the bar with your chin. Many people are not completing a chin-up completely, and they're actually hurting the shoulders, and they're not working the whole range of motion. So very important to work on those main exercises. Now, like something that I did to improve my pain, even though I still have it, I know what I can do, what I can avoid. I like to stretch my pecs. It's just so important because the pecs get so tight from this stress on the neck. So I stretch my pec with a Swiss ball, like how you call this ball? The lacrosse ball.
Yeah.
So I place the lacrosse ball or like a tennis ball in my pec, in my chest, and then I lay down, facing down, and then I place my thumb facing to the floor, thumb facing up, and then bending the elbow. So on those 3 movements, I'm hitting the 3 nerves as I go with my thumb down, my thumb up, rotation on the wrist, and also bending the elbow. That will hit those 3, and it gets really tight, and you will notice every time you're pressing your body against the floor, you're using the gravity just to press and release. So it's like a fascia stress release therapy that you do yourself.
Another good one is to lie on a bolster or kind of like a foam roller.
Yeah.
So your spine is against it, and then the arms are
open
out
up
like this.
Yeah.
That's more passive. If someone has like a lot of neck pain, they need to kind of like relax everything, and just lying there for a long period of time, which is really good to do. And I think that kind of brings us in terms of like stretching that area. I always tell my patients, I'm like, you need to stretch for a long period of time. Most people hold their stretches for like 10 seconds.
Yes.
15 seconds, right? But it has to be like at least 30 seconds, because the first few seconds of a stretch, the muscle actually contracts.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, what's happening? And then it takes some time. And I honestly think 30 seconds is even too short. It should be at least a minute.
Completely. Yeah. I teach yin yoga. So in yin yoga, which is a cognitive tissue yoga release, basically we stimulate the stretches for from 2 to 5 minutes each stretch. That's when you actually get into the connective tissue. So this is a great practice. If you can find a yin yoga close to your house, yin yoga is the one for you to stretch those muscles. So now that you're sitting, before we finish our podcast, I would love you to show us some exercises that you can do it while you're seated in a chair.
Okay, so the easiest exercise to do in a sitting position is probably range of motion. So if someone is especially sitting at a computer and going like this all day long, I would say first in terms of correcting the posture, because this is what tends to happen, I would always say pretend that there is a rope at the top of the skull. So say I'm sitting like this and it's like pulling you nice and tall. So someone's literally pulling you towards the ceiling. That will naturally, it's a good visual cue because a lot of people are visual, that naturally straightens the spine, okay? And then, like you said, the chin tuck. So a lot of people tend to do this with their chins. We actually don't want that. It's just like very minuscule amount that you want to do a chin tuck. And then drawing the shoulder blades down, back and down. Okay, so in ballet, a teacher would always tell us, girls, show off your diamonds. So you want to make sure that there's enough room here so that if you're wearing something, someone can see it. Okay, so that's one of the big ones just for posture correction. And then range of motion. In that position, you can do side to side is the easiest way to do it, right? And going slow. So you don't want to like whip your head around because that actually can tighten the muscles. Going ear to shoulder. Okay, so these can be used as stretches, but also just for range of motion. And then down as well as up. Okay, I usually, if someone is coming in with neck pain or they have stiffness in their neck, I tell them to do this at least once an hour at work because we need the motion. Our necks and our muscles, they need the motion. It's not just there. If someone comes in with, knee pain, I'm like, go take a walk around for at least once an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
would
think,
love to hear like what you would have to say about that as well.
well, for me, I would actually, because the only way for us to create a habit is to create a routine. So I would say, why don't you just set up a 3 p.m. stretch at work? So you have lunch and you know, like by 3 p.m. you have a 5 minutes stretch. So I will actually set it up on my phone as an alarm. It's like neck stretch. I will set it up as a must, because you don't want to be dealing with a neck pain like something in your life. It shouldn't be there, So we have to really set it up as a part of our daily activities. Then I will set it up, let's say 3 p.m. The alarm comes off. Then I sit on the chair that I am. I place, let's say, the left hand on the bottom of my left thigh. That's gonna like just set the support, and then I bring my right ear into my right shoulder. I hold it for 30 seconds. So I have the timer. I actually will time it for 30 seconds because the stretch is uncomfortable. It's going to be painful. You want to stop it after 10 seconds. And you think it's done, but it's not. So I will just really time it for 30 seconds. Then I will turn my chin up into the right side towards the sky. And I will stretch those front muscles of my neck for 30 seconds. And I will switch again to my opposite side. So my right arm comes on the bottom of my right leg. I bring my left ear into my left shoulder, and then I do the same routine, left ear to left shoulder, left ear up into my chin up. And that's what I would do. I can always do rotations. But it's funny because actually the meditation that I practice is the Isha Foundation meditation. It includes it's a yoga meditation, includes 4 neck rolls, like different ones. So I do this as part of my meditation every morning. So I stimulate and I notice, wow, like my right side is really tight. So I tend, because I'm left-handed, I use a lot my left hand. So on my right side, the opposite contrarrests the force and it creates so much tension. So I definitely have more tension in one side. So I try to put the stretch the same time in both sides. I don't want to do one more than the other. I just use the same time in both sides. And that's something that I recommend to everybody, but I would recommend it as a must. So I think my secret is to time it in the activities of the day as a going to cook a meal, basically. It's something super important.
I totally agree. And that's a good way to also prevent, and we can talk about this another time, but preventing headaches. There's such a big connection between the connective tissue up here and the neck. And with concentration, because all the muscles are getting tight, the stretches are, I think, a must to do. It just like helps to relax everything, and jaw as well, shoulders. Yeah. This area is very complex, just like everywhere in the body.
Completely. So that's more of a muscular stretch, and you can do it anywhere. Now, for nerve, I will definitely do some dry needling. If you can find a dry needling physiotherapist that can actually release with that therapy, I found it really beneficial. It's painful, but it's so good. And actually, just to be finishing the topic, in this area, the area of your neck is the area of your throat chakra. It's like a blue light, and it's the one connected to your communication. So maybe it's a time for you to reflect how much you are communicating. If you actually, those people that they try to avoid conflict and they try to just be in the safe zone and it doesn't express how you feel. Because we are a very complex, system. We're not just a physical part, we're also mental and also spiritual. So I also bring always the chakras as a very important area. So we have the throat chakra, the communication chakra. So maybe it's time for you to speak the truth, speak your truth, tell the truth and be honest with people. You don't have to keep it to you, just be honest. And maybe that will also help you to release the tension on that area. It could be a psychosomatic. Following Dr. John Sarno, actually Dr. John Sarno, I don't know if you heard about him. Have you? No. Yeah, Dr. John Sarno, he wrote books about the connection of back pain and the emotions. So when you actually don't express an emotion, or you just block an emotion, you most of the time you're going to get a back pain related as a psychosomatic response. So if you also a little curious about the relation between emotions and physical pain, I will suggest you to read one of his books, like The Healing Back Pain is one of the most popular books by Dr. John Sarno. I will put it on the links too. So this is just the last piece of the neck pain, and I hope everybody enjoy it. If you have any questions, get back to us. You can find out at her website, which is the pelvicphysio.
The pelvicphysio.ca.
.ca. And you can also find me at joafitness.com. We are both in Toronto, helping the community to heal their difficulties in all levels, and to support mothers, especially the ones that are becoming new mothers. So thank you so much for listening. Do you want to share something else, Nat, before we go?
No, I think we've covered a great deal today. I think we've gone over, the importance of the neck in terms of like holding the head, our posture, and like you said, our emotions as well. And that really affects, us mentally. And so if we're, mentally strong, we can also be physically strong. That's good.
Completely. Well, thank you so much for listening to us. And if you want to share a topic for us to develop about physiotherapy and all this, please tell us, because we're here for you guys. So thank you so much, and remember that together we are stronger.
We invite you to subscribe to this channel and share with your community. Please leave comments below, and if you like the episode, click the like button. Have a beautiful day.